All right, what is up, guys? Back with another video today. Today we got a new knife on the channel, and as you can see, it is another zero tolerance. So it's my third zero tolerance knife. Big fan of zero tolerance. Just great overall knives. They are a little, well, not really expensive. I think they're a good price for what you get. So let's look at my other two real quick here. This is the first one I got. This is the 990. It is a production version of one of their customs they did, the 999. That now is around a $1,500 plus knife. It's much larger than this knife though. That was one thing that kind of turned me off to this knife once I did get it. It's not a very big knife, as you can see. It's fairly small. It's a good EDC size. I have EDC'd this knife some, and it fits in the pocket really well. Only issue is I am a lefty, and on knives like these that have a show side and your lock bar side, the clip just never looks good on the left-hand side. There is an exception, which I'll show you here in a minute, but yeah, overall, great looking knife. I did sharpen it. This one didn't come as sharp as I would have liked. I used it a little bit, and I don't know, it was weird. It was a little bit newer to knives then, so I don't know. But as you can see, it's got close to a mirror edge on it. I mean, it's the best edge I can put with my Work Sharp Precision Adjust anyways. They came out with some new stones and a strop kit for it, and I've got one of those ordered. But anyways, moving on. Next, we've got the 308 black tiger stripes. Oh, this is a 20 CV blade, by the way. Let's see over here. All right, this one, the 308 black tiger stripe. Love this knife. This is a big, beefy knife. It's also 20 CV. Is an in-house design. Really popular knife from them. Originally, it was raw titanium on this side, and Coyote Brown G10 with just a satin blade. But this is the new model that came out with black tiger stripes. Got titanium here. Got a G10 over titanium on this side with your beefy standoffs there. Big old piece of 20 CV blade still up there, and it is razor sharp. Also, the drop shotiness of this knife is the best action I have on a lock bar knife. I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. Anyways, moving on to what we got today. Here it is. The 562 carbon fiber Hinderer slicer, and here it is. So I've had this knife a couple days now. I've played with it some. I like to do that before I give my first kind of review here. I haven't really done long-term reviews yet, mainly for the fact I've only been into knives about 4 or 5 months now, and I've built up a decent collection, in my opinion. For 4 or 5 months, I've got like 22, 23 knives now. Just got this one, and I've also got my first Chris Reeve knife, a small and cozy with black micarta inlays. Tonto be here tomorrow. Today is Thanksgiving 2021. So I got this knife from DLT Trading. Absolutely fantastic knife site. I bought, what other knife did I buy from them? Oh, I bought my Ultratech from them. My first Microtech came from them. Also my first Chris Reeve. It's funny, but with the Microtech, I got this sticker. Really cool sticker. And with this knife, I got this sticker. So they always do some specialty stickers depending on you know, the holidays and stuff like that coming up, and I think that's really cool. Also, their shipping, man, they say on there they've got the fastest shipping in the knife game, and that's a fact. um, if you order anything before noon, it ships at like 1 or 2 o'clock. I've ordered something at 2 o'clock and it shipped at 4 o'clock. I mean, they got to ship out multiple times a day. Absolutely fantastic. So let's get into the knife here. So here it is, this beautiful carbon fiber, which is very similar to the carbon fiber on the 990. You see same pattern there. I love their carbon fiber. Compare it here to kind of Benchmade's carbon fiber. As you can see, Benchmade has more of a weave pattern, where this is kind of like a row weave. Both really nice. It's hard to choose between these two. Just a little bit different in the pattern on there. Let's get a nice opening action here. Check it out. Kind of got this two-tone on the blade. Got a nice satin finish here, and you can see the grind lines, absolutely beautiful. And then up here, you've got kind of like a stonewash finish with a clean line there. You've got your swedge cut on the top to help with cutting. And as you can see, the blade stock is pretty thick here. Comes down to a thinner yet robust point. And this is it's a pretty thick blade overall, and with this hinderer design, it does get thicker from the tip back to the rear here on your cutting edge. So you can do some really fine work with the tip here, or use this back end to really do some work, cut into something deep. So moving along here, the ergonomics on this knife are absolutely phenomenal. I think it's the most comfortable knife I now own. And I've got larger hands, or like a 2XL glove generally. And you can see I'm left-handed, so I'm grabbing it with my left hand, but it just feels like an extension of your hand. Absolutely fantastic. Fits great. Just a bigger knife. Overall, so the materials on this knife, you got titanium back here with a this is a frame lock with a lock bar insert on it, steel lock bar insert. On the other side, obviously, you've got a carbon fiber scale cover here with a titanium liner. So you're getting full titanium down here. On the blade, we have got also 20 CV. Great blade still, becoming very, very popular with mid-high end to high-end knives. One of the better blade stills out at the moment. It's up there with, M390, 204P, L-Max. Just the top of the line blade still for the moment. And look back here. This is a hinderer design. Which, if you hold this knife right next to a hinderer, very, very similar in, ergonomics and blade shape. I've heard some people call this the poor man's hinderer, which it's still a $300 knife. It's $280 now. Used to be $260, I'm pretty sure. Like this knife used to be $320, now it's $340. I feel like a lot of zero tolerance knives have went up about $20. Good old inflation for you. Yeah, we can thank for that. One thing I have done already for this knife, you can see the pivot here. It's a free spinning pivot, so you need 2 Torx bits to take it out, but I went ahead and ordered from MXG Gear. They normally make pocket clips. They made a pivot. It's kind of like a hinderer style pivot. It's pretty much flat on this side with some chamfered edges. Then on this side, it's a flathead, looks like a flathead screw. And it's like I said, it's reminiscent of like a hinderer pivot. And in my opinion, it looks super clean, very classy. It takes the knife up a notch. This almost, to me, looks a little cheap, on the cheap end, whereas something like this, it's more simple and elegant. So I've got that ordered from MXG Gear. And they also have at MXG Gear, they've got a full set you can get, which is $110. Comes with the pivot, 9 body screws. Then you get the lock bar stabilizer and your standoffs. So I ordered the pivot. I'm going to get that and see how the machining quality is. And if I really like that, I'm going to order the body screws, which they're titanium. They have them in titanium blue anodized and bronze, but I like just the plain titanium. And they look like flathead screws as well. They're really nice looking in my opinion. They take the knife up to a whole new level. Probably just gonna leave the standoffs the same. I think the black looks fine, kind of ties in with the carbon fiber there. You don't want too much titanium because the screws would be just silver titanium. And it comes with all this, and your lock bar screw here. Like I said, they're kind of like a flathead design. They're really good looking. If you got this knife or other zero tolerances, I would definitely check out MXG Gear for your hardware. The screws are $55, kind of expensive, but they look quality machined out of titanium, so I think it would definitely be worth it. But yeah, I've got that pivot ordered. Next, we're going to talk about the pocket clip here. You can see this is a very deep carry pocket clip. You can pretty much get the whole knife submerged down in your pocket there. So obviously I've got this in the left-hand orientation. I am left-handed. If you've watched my videos, you know that. So as far as switching this clip, because there's not really any videos out there on it, and you're probably not going to look at this video for that, but supposedly you just have to take this screw all the way out, and then the clip, you can see the little notch there, it kind of slides into. I took the screw out and I could move the clip a little bit, but it wouldn't come all the way out. So what I had to do is loosen these 3 screws a couple turns, and that allowed the scale to kind of pop up, and I slid the clip right back out, tighten these down, and repeat it on this side. I took this screw all the way out, loosened these up a few turns, I was able to slide the clip in, position it where I wanted, and then tighten the screws back down. And this is a fantastic pocket clip. I was looking on MXG Gear, and I don't see anything that would be better than this clip. I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park. Next, the action. The flipping action is very smooth. One thing you got to be careful of on the little bit older zero tolerance lock bar knives is the detent is in this lock bar. Let's see if you can. You can't see the detent on this knife. Like on this one, you can see the detent at one point. Kind of see it right there. That's your detent hole. But yeah, it's in the lock bar, and it's the same on this knife. Your detent is in. You can kind of see the detent hole there. Detent is on your lock bar. So when you go to flip this knife, if you have the tiniest amount of pressure on the lock bar here, the knife will not open. And as soon as you take it off, it pops right open. So it's one thing to be wary of and consider when getting this knife. You gotta hold it from the back here, left-handed, and then right-handed, it's not as much of a problem. You just kind of got to be careful not to put really any pressure there. You can kind of hold it, you just kind of touch it there, it'll still open. Just something to kind of be mindful of. But other than that, the action is fantastic. It's on their KVT bearings. I was looking at possibly the taco bearings. People say you've got steel on titanium here. I don't think it would be a huge problem. Maybe over time, over 5 or 6 years of hard use, it might wear a groove into the titanium and give you a tiny bit of pivot play. I may go ahead and get them. They're only like $25 because the knife is new and there is no groove in the titanium yet. So that may be another thing I do to this knife, just something small like that. Supposedly it makes the action better too, but it's pretty good so far. Deployment is fantastically smooth. And then the drop shuttiness, and I've had it a few days, flipped it a couple hundred times, I'm sure. and it doesn't fall on its own yet, but just the slightest bit of encouragement, just right down, and you just give it a little whoop, and there it is. So yeah, but overall, absolutely fantastic knife. This thing is a solid beast of a user. Ergonomics are fantastic. One last thing with your flipper tab here, you notice how it kind of curves up. That lets you get a good grip on it and deploy it very easily, and it also makes for a good finger stop here. I mean, you could stab a brick wall with this thing, and your hand's not going to slide up on it, which is really nice. Only downside, when you go to close the knife, if you grab it up here like you would on this knife, you go to the very top right here and let that hit your thumb, and then it's fine. If you do this one that way at the very top and let it fall, it hits your lock bar there, and you got to kind of make it past that to have it fall shut. So what I do is I just hit it a little lower here and let it fall on my thumb, and then it gets past that lock bar and it falls fine. Only been a few times where I've done it and it'll do just like that. It'll catch on the lock bar, and then you go to shake it and it just opens back up. Just a little thing to be mindful of. It's just getting long here. One last thing. Go, the cut test. Absolutely razor sharp. Exactly what to expect from ZT there. Knives come very sharp. So yeah, overall, very quality piece. Would definitely recommend. This knife's been out for a while, but yeah, if you're looking for a beast of an EDC, or maybe thinking about a Hinderer, get this one first. Make sure you like the feel and design before, shelling out the $400 or $500. But yeah, that's the review. Sorry it's a little long here, but it is what it is. I said what I needed to. But I appreciate y'all watching. Like I said, I've got my Chris Reeves small and cozy left-handed black micarta inlays be here tomorrow. So that video should be out in the next couple days. But yeah, I appreciate y'all watching. Have a great day.